Hi there, my name is Charm. I'm from the Supers X Heroes books, and thought I'd share my prequel story with you. Want to hear some of it? Sit down, get cozy, and I'll read it to you. Ahem. For the last time, Charm, the answer is no, Council Ammon said, glaring up at me from his desk. His beady, black eyes looked like they belonged on an insect, not the head of one of the most feared rogue guilds this side of planet Harang. I sighed, considering the words I knew were about to come bubbling up, the words that would change my life forever. I'd thought hard and long on them, debating where to put the proper inflection and how to ensure they had their intended consequence. This was, after all, the most influential man on Station Eshu, one of several mobile stations at the edge of the Aurum star system, and host to 3 guilds. Since my sister and I had served under him, there was no other way. He stared up at me with those beady eyes that roamed over my chest, cleavage pushed up in my space rogue suit of green to match my eyes. I'd purposely even worn a wide-brimmed hat that evening, the type that hid my fox ears, along with a heavy overcoat to conceal my bushy tail. This was the type of man who looked down on my type, as many did. But cleavage was his language, so I flaunted it. He'd said no, however, so the temptation of sexual acts wasn't in the cards. Instead, I took my hat off, placed it on his desk, and breathed heavily as I prepared myself to say the words. Go fuck yourself, you one-balled, irrogel-brained, shit-eating piece of maggot farts. I tossed the coat into the corner and spun so that my tail nearly brushed against his nose, which I knew he'd be disgusted by, the prick, and made my way for the door. I'll find my sister, and there isn't shit you can do to stop me. His reaction was delayed. More subdued than I'd expected, too. I caught a slight movement from the corner of my eye, then 2 hulking men stepped out of the shadows. Their hands grabbed me with the strength of irrogels, large creatures that roamed our planet, similar to a cross between the elephants and gorillas that are said to have once roamed Earth. They flung me back, then were on me in a second with a good shot to the gut that left me motionless and wheezing. Then I was in the air, waiting for Ammon's judgment. My tail wrapped around one of their throats and I turned to the other, mouth opening, but caught another shot in the face that left me completely limp. The pain was dull but starting to build up, coursing through my body and reminding me that the recovery would be a bitch. But I would recover from it, and this son of a bitch knew better than to kill me. We had our guild laws and a code on top of that. I'd insulted him, hurt his honor, but it wasn't enough to merit death. And no matter the level of pain he brought upon me, it couldn't be stronger than the pain of losing my sister, of not knowing where she was and of this fucker telling me I had no right to go after her. You're valuable, Ammon said, steepling his 3 fingers, placing the first on each side under his chin as he assessed me. But you're also a stupid bitch in need of an attitude adjustment. Throw her in the cells, he said to his goons. Let the scum of this station's underbelly remind her how lucky she is to be topside. Fuck you, I managed between the shooting pain in my side that was now starting to take over. He shook his head, disappointed. Your sister had her mission, and she failed. She's gone. Leave it alone. That's the first half of chapter 1. Want more? Great. Let's continue.